And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm reviewing Dolphin Tale 2, released in 2014, I think. And it's the continuation from the first movie, now introducing another dolphin called Hope. And it's also based off of real life events. As you can say, with the first movie, this movie was another, I would say, pretty big success because it follows the first Dolphin Tale. And normally I'd say a movie like Dolphin Tale wouldn't need a sequel, but they had the material for it because of the events that happened in real life. So it makes sense in this way. But I got some thoughts on it, so let's just jump right into it, shall we? First off, with the opening of this movie, it was much more dramatic than the first movie. The first movie, that Sawyer's got the whole thing with the military and whatnot. And then he finds the beached dolphin, and but it's got a, it's like, it's not, I wouldn't consider it lighthearted, but it's not very dramatic. This movie was a much more dramatic opening with like a much darker tone over it. For I would argue a less severe situation. In the first movie, Winter's like completely beached and wrapped up in netting and is all bloody. This dolphin, while the dolphin that they rescue in this one, while yeah, it's in trouble, it's still partially underwater. And so is it really justified that you would make it that much more of a situation? I don't know. It's good to see that pelican is still around. I forget what the fuck his name is even. I don't remember, but God, that pelican is so stupid. I didn't even talk about the pelican in the first movie review, but my God, that pelican is so dumb. It's supposed to be the comic relief character in an otherwise very like serious and even sad movie. It does a fine job. It's a little bit better in this movie than it is in the first one, but yeah. And also, the pelican leaves the end of the movie and then comes back. Wild. Also, Bethany Hamilton is in this movie. I think that got a lot of press. I remember when this movie came out. It's not. She doesn't have a huge role in the movie. You can tell that they shot all the scenes with her in one go or one day. She's in the beginning. She has a couple lines at the beginning. It does the whole swimming thing, and then at the end she's in the crowd. So like you can obviously tell that they filmed that on the same day. But honestly, I mean, she does a fine job. I mean, I think she's a very appropriate big name celebrity to have in a movie like this. And I think she does a really good job. So I also really like the new aquarium. It's very, very modern, very, very sleek design. They did a really good job with that. So I really, really like that part of it. And then, okay, I do have some other critiques, though, that I want to talk about. And this is something that you kind of see in the first movie, but it's really, really emphasized in this movie. And that's with how much say these kids have in running the aquarium. And that part necessarily doesn't make me super mad. But what does make me mad is that they flip-flop back and forth between the kids being treated like they're 5 and the kids being bitchy and wanting to run the place all by themselves. And how they're just okay with flipping back and forth between that. That, to me, really pissed me off because they're, again, only like 15, not even 15 when this movie comes out. Like, I guess I don't know what they're at, like, they're actually just what their movie age or whatnot. So they're in no position. I know they've worked here a long time, but they're in no position to do that. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. But if they're going to have an administrative position, if like they're going to be wanted to be looked on as more of an adult figure and like wanting to be huge, like faces for the aquarium, then why are you flipping back and forth between treating them like they're 5 and they're not? God, I just don't like that. Also, who determined that Sawyer was leaving for college? Because it's never really established who And also because Sawyer never did it himself, he was just on the fence, and then somebody just made the decision for him. Cool. That was weird. Another thing that really pissed me off was the fact that it was established at the end of the last movie that now that Winter had the tail, Winter could act like a real dolphin again. And we saw Winter doing all the jumps and flips and really having a good time. So why, in this movie, does Winter not have the tail anymore? Why do they take the tail off of her at all the time? It seems like I think they had the tail off of her in this movie more than they had it on her. And there was this whole thing set up at the. There was this whole thing set up in the last movie, and even in this movie, where if she doesn't wear the tail, she doesn't swim right, and it fucks up her spine, it could paralyze her. So it's very important that they have the tail. That's the whole thing that they set up in the first movie. And they say in this movie, so why the hell is she not wearing the tail all the fucking time? Wouldn't you want her to wear it? So she doesn't have any problems? That doesn't make any sense. The fuck would you want that for? It just doesn't make any sense. There's just a huge... Why? Why would you not do that? But the best part of this movie, without a doubt, still Morgan Freeman. He doesn't have as large of a role in this movie as he does in the first movie. Mostly because his role is kind of like making the dolphin prosthetic, and he does that in the first movie. And his only real role this time around is kind of just being more of a side character. Never really taking too much of a lead role. He does still have some great one-liners and some great stuff in this movie. And it's really, really awesome to watch. Then he makes the new dolphin prosthetic so that it looks more like an actual dolphin tail instead of just like a prosthetic. And that's really, really cool. But yeah, Morgan Freeman, once again, top-notch performance by him here. So, and as far as the message goes, it's still a nice message about like bonding and whatnot. I thought it would be built on more. This movie does feel a little short. Doesn't feel like it was too directly focused on the dolphins themselves. This definitely feels more like a Sawyer movie than a dolphin movie. However, it's still alright. I didn't like it as much as the first movie. There's a lot of plot holes. Just a lot of stuff that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. For that reason, my final score is going to be a 5 out of 10 for this movie. I didn't really enjoy it. You know, at the end of Dolphin Tale 1, I did come around to enjoy it. But this one, no. I didn't really have the same connection or feeling to it at the end. So, but anyways, that's going to do for this movie review. If you've ever seen Dolphin Tale 2, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And that's going to do for this video as well, so stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more movie reviews and other awesome stuff. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.